Grand rise, everybody. I hope all is well. Welcome to Tuesday. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. Hello, gated community. Greetings. This is your girl, the Philly Bruja. Come on in. I'm gonna do some actual content, okay? But I do want to talk. I do want to speak on something briefly, okay? Before we even get into all that. But where are my manners? Welcome. Yes, welcome. So, as per usual, I'm going to go ahead and let YouTube send out these notifications. For those of you who are up, my coffee hasn't hit y'all just yet. Not just yet, but work with me here. Those of you who are up, thank you for joining me. Come on in to the gated community. This is, something I wanted to talk about for a minute. I didn't know how to approach it. I actually didn't have the words to articulate exactly how I felt about this person. And if someone is in the building, can you tell me if you can hear my audio? Because I can't see anything moving on my side. So yeah, hold on. We getting there. Oh shoot, how could I forget? Yes, come on in. Grand Rise is Tuesday. We are working our way over to a new fake new year. So, I just wanted to at least put out, one thing that has to do with my actual content before we step into 2022. Okay. Oh wait, where are my manners? Hold on. Damn, I forgot. Boom.
They call me the Oracle. I'm about to make this historical. These questions you ask me rhetorical. Like who do I be? I am the queen. I'm a supreme. You didn't know? What do you mean? They call me the Oracle. I'm about to make this historical. These questions you ask me rhetorical. Like who do I be?
Grand Rise Soon and that. Can y'all hear me? Cause it's not moving on my side on StreamYards. My coffee ain't hit, y'all. It ain't hit yet. Just let me know. Microphone check. 1 2 1 2. And also let me go ahead and let why is this shit spinning? See, this is why I didn't even want to do this video. I've been procrastinating. Yo, can y'all hear me? Just say yes or no in there. In the meantime, between time, let me play this real quick and let the notifications go out. And we're gonna get it started because I hopefully lots of layers to do it. Okay, so that means you can hear me. Okay, great. All right. Yeah, I'm hoping not to be on here too long. I always say that and then it ends up being too long. Anyway, let me let the notifications come out and then we can get this party started. Oh, soon, did you? What was your thoughts on it? Let me know while you can type it in the comments. That's fine. Let's let YouTube. I was about to say YouTube. See, god damn it. While this is playing, let me go ahead and refresh my cup of coffee. It has not hit. All right, here we go.
Kai, yemaya olodo, kai, asesu olodo, kai, yemaya olodo, kai, asesu olodo, ladio que, ladio que, ladio que, ladio que, ladio que, ladio que. Yamaya olodo, awalodo miyo. Yamaya olodo, awalodo miyo. Yamaya olodo, awalodo miyo. Yamaya olodo, awalodo miyo.
All right, I think that's enough. Right, that was more than 2 minutes. Peace and blessings, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday. I hope you are enjoying your week. For most of us, or a lot of us, is kind of a downtime, vacation time, whatever the case may be. Um, I wanted to speak on this for quite some time. Let me scroll up here and see if he'll soon answer me. I think he was too far for him to be playing. Yeah, yes, listen, we are on the same page. I hold on, let me see. There we go. I had some brief interaction with Chief Amachi on different occasions as far as when it comes to EFI and spirituality and things of that nature. Very brief interactions via social media, i.e., YouTube, right? So I wanted to get into a little bit of why I am so guarded when it comes to talking about my religion. Excuse me, God damn it, this coffee need to hit. My religious beliefs and practices, right? And I've always told you guys, it's called a closed practice for a reason. This is why I'm also very hesitant of what I put out there for public consumption, because, like I always say, not everything is for everybody. Um, Point blank and period, right? I'm pretty sure somebody got that. Thank you. Not everything is for everybody, right? Let's say Chief Amachi, he had this vision, right? The vision was he was the founder of a nonprofit organization, right? Called the International Indigenous Knowledge and Development Society. It's dedicated to preserving the history, traditions, and the spiritual practices of pre colonial people in society, i.e., EFI, i.e., traditional African religions. Okay. Um, I kiki and I laugh with you guys in different comments. Thank you also. I laugh and kiki in comments and stuff when you all get a good kiki about the whole Bruja thing, right? Bruja, I can't even my words. Good Lord, let this coffee hit. Although Bruja means witch, right? We all kiki, we laugh on it. I see the comments in other people comment sections, and I give you a good kiki because I do find it, quite humorous most of the time, right? Because a lot of people get into the whole stereotypical notion of what a bruja or high priestess or any other title you want to put in there um, is about. This isn't Hollywood, and I'm not running to hex folks. Hello, Ted. Hello, Paul. Welcome to the gated community. Today I'm doing actual content for a minute. I told you I wanted to bring in the fake new year. Oh, of course I'm doing the top 10 2021 moments in the black sector 2.0, well, excuse me, in the 2.0 black sector, because I want you guys to know that this isn't, I mean, uh these people who have come together, we're all being called as a collective the black sector, but you can't not forget and not pay homage to the original black sector who is still here. They're still here. The OGs are still here doing this shit, okay? And folks are lumping everybody all up, but it's not that simple. Anyway, I'm doing the top 20, sorry, the top 10 moments in 2021. That's tongue twisting. For this little section, this community, of us who we all go around and support each other, share each other's shit, share each other's subscribers. You know what I'm saying? And we can be found in each other's chats, right? So I'll be breaking that down in the top 10 moments. We're also going to do one honorable mention, right? And then I'll be giving away, um I'll be giving a gift to the one who's made the most impact in our little community that we have here going on, right? I call that outside the gated community, the YouTube streets, 2.0 black sector, blah blah blah. Also, I'll be doing the white Hennessy raffle. If I'm feeling generous enough, I might do two bottles. I'm leaning more towards one though. I will wipe it off because they've been sitting for quite some time. So they kind of dusty on the outside, but yeah, I'll get that to you for whoever wins. Just give me a couple of days to go to the post office and I'll send it to you. So boom. Hey, bro, guy, what's good? I hope y'all taking those. Please, if I haven't, yeah, I got mines in here. Um, I hope y'all popping those stuff. What up with this spam shit? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, so we're gonna get into this really quickly. I wanted to title this "When Initiations Go Wrong," right? For all intents purposes, at least from what I saw from my interactions with Chief Amachi, which was very brief, I think he had good intentions with the organization, for the nonprofit organization, International Indigenous Knowledge and Development Center, excuse me, Society. I think he had um, good intentions with this, right? So, first and foremost, I just want to give you a little bit of background. He initiated into the Mami Wata part of EFI, which the counterpart for that would be uh Yemaye, right? Which that will fall under my tree. Lukami, shit. Lukami. uh Also known as Santeria. So you got the Yemaye counterpart, right? And then in Hades you got hey, Big Chief, good morning. Thank you for joining me. I'm glad all of y'all can join me for my actual content. That's great. I'm waiting for the coffee to hit. I hope y'all got your coffee or whatever you hitting. You had some for me. Um, in Hades, what is it called? Is it called La Serene? I think the siren. Y'all know I'm scared of mermaids. I'm fucking terrified of them. Anyway, I think yeah. Either way, what we're talking about here is the same energy. Okay. Um, Let me see something here. Give me 1 second because I got all of this stuff pulled up. Hold on, y'all. 1 sec. All right, so I'm back. So I just want to give you just a quick brief. Fuck, this coffee need to hit, y'all. Seriously. Um. All right. So again, like I was saying, it's called a closed practice for a reason, right? So Chief Amachi, right? He did stunt work in Black Panther. He even has some small parts in Black Panther the movie. Everything was only up and up and up and up and up. For all intents purposes, right? He was totally immersed into African traditional religions, right? But with that comes great responsibility. And he also he initiated over in Ghana. We'll get there. Um, I initiated in Cuba, but th- this is why I'm always hesitant. This is why I'm very careful and mindful of what I put out there. Again, like I said, not everything is for everybody. Okay. If you receive a calling, you'll know we don't recruit. I absolutely will tell you this. We don't recruit. From all intents purposes, Chief Amachi has had a big idea in his head, which is great in theory. He was going to bring the African traditional religion to the masses, despite the lineage of his would-be students, right? So 1 second. I take a sip of this coffee. I need this joint to hit. You heard me? Just give you a quick background on him. Ronald Glenn Abongo Humphrey. He has some memorable parts in the Black Panther movie. And hold on, several weeks before his death, he told his sister Natalie he was the happiest he had ever been in his life. Obviously, because when you find this kind of peace when it comes to spirituality, it's priceless. So yeah, they said please be comforted in knowing that he was a man who saw his dreams become reality, and he did. He was a successful MMA fighter as well. And I just want to scroll down a little bit. I'm just trying to give you like a brief background on him. He won several awards, BET Iron Ring competition. What else? So he started taking trips over to he got into African traditional religions, right? And he started taking trips over to Ghana, right? And start learning more and more and more about spiritual practices and things of that neighbor that things in that neighborhood. I'm sorry, y'all. My words is messed up. Grand Rise. Hey, bro. Okay. Shut up. That's a strip club. Wait a minute. Hi, bud. That's a hey, Big Chief. What's going on, Chief? Are you going to be in it? Never mind. I'm going to shut up. Shut up. I forgot my husband can tap in and see this. Anyway, so his goals, right? His goals was to preserve the indigenous spiritual teachings, but also transmit them to future generations. His students were proud to study under him. That was the president of the Republic of the Benin. Recently recognized him formally as a spiritual priest. Uh, then they go on to talk about his role that was in Black Panther. Um, I'm gonna just scroll down to some key facts. A woman wrote on there, "My heart is broken." He seemed like a genuinely good brother. You know what I'm saying? I think he had good intentions with this. Um, I think he had really good intentions with his nonprofit organization. But see, where um, here's where to get a little bit murky, right? You're initiating into man, a very, 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 very old religion and practice, right? As I stated before, not everything is for everybody. He had the intentions of learning everything that he could, and he did. Um, under his teacher. He was now this is alleged. I'm just going by what I know and what it has been alleged, and I'm leaning more towards this because this sounds about right to me. Um, he was already warned about bringing the teachings to mm, to any and everyone. I don't think it's anything wrong with the learning, right? Knowledge is power. But again, like I said, it's an oral tradition for a reason, right? And it- there's one thing, it goes from, there's one thing if you're studying it, right? Studying it for the sake of knowledge. And there's another thing when you are teaching it with the intentions to initiate motherfuckers. Now, granted, people can pay their way in, just like anywhere else. There are non-melanated people who are initiated across the board under the EFI African traditional religion tree, right? It's a bunch of them, and they out here doing and they're initiating non-melanated. It's a whole fucking mess with that, okay? But not everything is for everyone. No, I'm not. But I'll look her up though. Thank you, Paul. I'll definitely check her out. Um, I feel kind of weird about that because anyway, I'm gonna tell you what my theory is, and this is what I feel deeply in my heart. Um, he was willing to teach uh, and take on students, or how I would say godchildren, um, from all backgrounds, melanated, non-melanated, this, that, and the other. Um, I'm not sure if he was charging for this or not. But anyway, he initiated over there in Ghana, right? Hold up. Damn, Hamlin, that's a good question. I don't know. So he initiated over in Ghana, right? He was completely He was for it. You feel me? Like he was in it, and just like any other person who get into spirituality, right? What happens is they get so deep into it so fast. And what I've learned is the more you know, the more you don't fucking know. If that makes sense. Am I making sense? I hope so. The more you know, the more you realize that you don't know. And what happens is people, they go so head first in it because it's new and it feels right and it feels good, right? So you put your whole energy, all of it. You're reading all these books. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're reading all these books. You are talking to your elders. You are talking to, you know, um, whomever your house is, if you have a house, you're talking to your teachers, elders, all of that shit, right? So you're pulling all of this in, and you want to scream from the rooftops, come join me. These are the people that you find on here who's mad at Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Who's mad at this? Who's mad at that? And the white man and the Christians. These are those ones because they're new and they're just soaking all of this knowledge in, right? And they don't know how to compartmentalize this shit just yet, right? So you're a bag of ball of crazy, right? So I'm at a whole different level now. Listen, y'all see I had a goddamn Christmas tree in here. Point blank period. Y'all know I ain't Christian, but I'm no Grinch either. I'm at the point in my beliefs and religion. You know what? I truly, honestly respect everyone else's, and everything has its place. Everything, and whatever it takes for you to get there, you get there. However, Chief Amachi was making it his business to bring that to the masses, despite whether or not these people were called, despite if they had a melanated background, melanated ancestry, blah, blah, blah. See, we have things in place for the non melanated. There are things in this universe that are in place for the non melanated to go ahead and explore. I personally, as far as the Wiccan thing, that's not for me. That's not my lineage. That's not my bloodline. That's not what I was called to do. Okay. So he pulled all of this in. Uh he was just completely into all of it. And that's a good thing. But like anything else, you gotta take your time with it. So he was very eager to learn. He was warned about taking because he was accepted. You know what I mean? He received the calling. He answered that call. He went to Ghana and decided to initiate into Mami Wata. Now, just want to give you just a brief little history on Mami Wata, okay? Again, like I said, its counterpart, because it's an energy, would be the Yemayes, the Lasarans. Let me go ahead and read this off for y'all. At once beautiful, protective, seductive, and dangerous, the water spirit Mami Wata is celebrated throughout much of Africa and the African Atlantic. A rich array of arts surround her, as well as host of other aquatic spirits, that will fall under like the Oshuns and things of that nature. She is widely believed to have overseas origins and her depictions have been profoundly influenced by representations of ancient indigenous African water spirits, even European mermaids, Hindus, gods, goddesses, Christians, Muslims, and saints. She is not only sexist, sexy, jealous, and beguiling, but also exists in the plural as the Mami Wata, Papa Wata, who is comprised of the counterpart vast unaccountable for a school of African water spirits. Now this is Mami Water is dominated usually by women, right? So if you are accepted, you know what I'm saying, to get those teachings and to sit with those elders, it is a great honor. But like I said, it is called a closed religion for a reason. All right. So let me see what else. I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to scale this down because this is a lot. Let's see here. I don't like dead air. The mother of the water. Countless enslaved Africans forcibly brought to the Americas as part of the trade carried with them their beliefs, practices, arts, honoring water spirits such as Mami Wata, reestablished, visualized, revitalized in the African Atlantic. Mami Wata emerged in new communities under different guises. Among them, oh, okay, yeah, in Hades it is La Serene. I wasn't sure. Um, so yeah, that actually confirmed from Yemaja, which is Yemaya, right? Yeah, Santa Marta, and you got Oxum, African-based faiths honoring their manifestations of Mami Wata, continue to flourish in communities throughout America, including Haiti, Brazil, and the Dominican Republic. So that's just a brief description of what Mami Wata is. She is the mother of the ocean, right? Mami Wata is a complex symbol, right? She feeds the imagination. She's a nurturing mother, provider of riches, healer of physical and spiritual ills, embodies desires and dangers, risks, challenges, dreams, and aspirations. People are attracted to seemingly endless possibilities she represented, and at the same time, frightened by her destructive potential. Now, I just want to give you an example of that. The ocean, right? It's beautiful, it is vast. So many mysteries lies in that ocean, right? As much as it is beautiful and calming, because I know the closer I get to the ocean, the more peaceful I am, the more inside I feel, at peace, which is odd because I am fucking terrified of mermaids. You cannot tell me that they're not real. That's we're not getting into that. We're not getting into that. But I'm terrified. Y'all can thank my husband for that. I'm fucking terrified of him. Anyway, um, but the ocean itself brings me peace, okay? But just as well as it can bring you peace, that ocean can bring you death and fear and everything else. It's a duality like anything else, right? She inspires a vast array of emotions, attitudes, actions among those who worship her. This person, I'm actually reading from something. I, in my beliefs, in my practice, I don't worship anything, nothing. You hear me? I honor So I'm gonna change it up and say honor her, fear her, study her, and create works of art about her. And then they just go on to talk about how she may appear to people. Um, Mommy Walter, I don't want you to appear to me. No, ma'am. Not while I'm in the ocean, okay? You can come in my dreams, but not in the oceans. No. No. No, 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 no. Um so yeah, you could just Google that, right? You know what I'm saying? And you'll see that come up a lot. You can see, different depictions of her, this, that, and the other. Um, People do decide to okay, worship. I don't, but honor. Um, People go to this particular energy for fertility as well. If you're looking to have children and love and things of that nature. The one thing that I did notice though, across the board, I don't care if you're Muslim, Christian, Hindu, whatever, this Mami Wata, this water spirit energy thing comes up, right? It goes by different names across the board. So anyway, y'all can feel free to do your research on that, all right? Um, because we're not talking specifically about this, but I'm just trying to give you a background of this particular part of Ifa and their traditions. Well, in this instance, Mami Wata traditions. So he was a man. He was accepted. He got the call, and they said, "Come on!" Like, and this wasn't a pay for play kind of thing. You know what I mean? He really was accepted, and he was given the keys to a lot of information and knowledge. He was hell bent on bringing that knowledge to every and all. Right? That's not how this works. So the very last video that Chief Amachi had uploaded. First and foremost, let me I wanted to bring this message that he said this was back in 2017. Shit, I might even be in the comments. I might be in his comments. But I think this is a very special message. I'm gonna share that with you guys real quick. Let me see. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit because even though I'm talking about this, I just wanted to say that, for all intents purposes, he was a force to be reckoned with. He seemed to be a very good spirit, a very good person. He was always polite. We were always polite towards each other in our brief interactions. I have nothing bad to say about it. But this is what happens when you're doing too much, right? When it comes to initiation, because I'm gonna get into my theory shortly as to what happened. I'm 35 minutes in. I'm gonna try to keep this to under an hour. All right, Mr. Chief Amachi. I'm gonna play this for you guys real quick because I truly believe this, and the message is still um, impactful today. Hold on. And let me know if y'all can hear the audio too.
My name is Chief Amachi Petobuaru. It's very important that I give you this video today. The video or the topic of discussion is, we're going to go ahead and start from the top there because I messed up. Okay? No, you don't have to stop it. Take two.
I'm gonna speed this up a
My
bit.
name is Chief Amachi Petobuaru. I am the founder of IIKDS, the International Indigenous Knowledge and Development Society. The goal of our society is to preserve and to develop indigenous spiritual teachings and to preserve those teachings for future generations. The topic of discussion today is curses and generational curses and how to remedy those curses. But the first thing that we're going to need to deal with in order to really understand the complexity of this concept, we have to get certain definitions taken care of. So this is going to be a 5-minute video. However, I'm going to have to make extensions to give examples of the subject matter. So let me first start by saying curses. Many people talk about curses, but they really don't understand what a curse is. Let me explain. A curse has its foundation in the phenomena of a particular spiritual being or a spirit, meaning a curse is the direct phenomena that's caused by a spiritual being or entity or a mind or mentality that exists in nature. And it creates this phenomena, whether it's positive or negative. But since we're talking about curses, we can talk about some of the negative aspects. This is a curse. So this is the action or the phenomena created by certain spiritual beings. So you have a person that has done something that is disagreeable. They put some type of spiritual action into place against someone to create specific phenomena. But let me explain something, because I think that curses are a little bit more complex than just the actions of an individual that may be benevolent or malevolent. What I want to explain here about curses is that there are certain generational issues that are affecting families spiritually, and this has created certain negative phenomena, negative things happening. And specifically here, I want to talk to sisters. I want to talk to the sisters in the community because there are many of you that have gifts.
This is actually the part where I wanted to go ahead and speed it up too, but I couldn't remember the timestamp. I feel like this is still you know what? Yeah, I did. I thought that this was still very relevant today. So rest in peace, good brother. Hold on.
You have these different abilities, whether they're the abilities to dream and to see, or to know things that will happen before they happen, or you've always had the ability to say certain things and then you see those things happen. There are many of you whose ancestors dealt with what we call the Wu Nonan, which are the gods of your ancestors that exist in nature. And in dealing with those entities and minds and spiritual beings, they stay within the bloodline. And they choose the most equipped generationally. They'll choose. And when they choose you, the symptoms of them choosing you will appear to be these gifts that will begin to manifest themselves. These are the abilities that maybe you experiencing certain dreams, or you experience some type of premonitions, or prophetic abilities, or some type of intuitive knowing that you somehow can't explain. How this ties into what I was talking about, curses or different spiritual beings that are following the bloodline, is that many of you sisters that have some of these abilities, you've seen these abilities as they move through your family, whether they're with your grandmother, whether they're even with your grandfather, your mother, your father, or even generationally down. Some of you may even be able to identify, oh yes, my grandmother or my grandfather.
I cannot stress this enough. That comes along with a calling. It is passed down normally from generation to generation. Like, I'm gonna just let him finish.
Or this person, my great grandmother, or this, you can trace this behavior as it moves through your lineage and your family line. Yes. Well, what's happened here for many of you is that you've collected your family's Noli, or you've collected your family star, and it sits with many of you. But the problems that many of you have is that when these type of spirits follow you, you're unable to have a healthy relationship with a man. Many of you, you'll notice that the second you get in some type of relationship, something will happen to spoil that particular relationship. And you'll notice not only yourself, but then as you start to reflect back generationally, you'll look at some of the women that are in your family that even had some of these same gifts. And you'll notice that many of these women, they weren't able to keep long relationships, or their relationships were somewhat transient or temporary. And many of you, you desire love and connection. But for some reason, I'm sure many of you have noticed that when you get this, that your partners or the men that you're with actually begin to take from you and drain, and they progress and somehow get better, but you somehow become drained. And it's as if something has taken from you. Many of these things, by many, I've heard, they consider this a curse. And it may seem as if it is, because you exhibit.
To me, in my own personal opinion, I think that this is why you get a lot of generations of women in family who never married or had a lot of kids out of wedlock. Um, and you'll see that cycle repeated. Teenage parents, you'll see it repeating itself over and over and over again. Um, is it really a generational curse? I don't really believe in curses too much. If you actually look at my content, curses and hexes and things of that nature are usually something that you did to yourself. Okay, hey P, what's going on, girl? Sup? Thank you for joining me. Thank you all for joining me. You could be anywhere else on this Tuesday morning, but you're here with me. Hello. Let's get back into this because I'm feeling what he's saying. Okay, when you feel as a woman and you experience these type of things, right? And you realize that these are some gifts of, if you call them, that are passed down. Once you can identify them, right, you can begin to start breaking those repeated um cycles. Yes, Paul, I have a home in Spanish Town, and I will be called an OBO woman there. My two oldest children, the ones that I adopted from there, they call me an OBO woman. It's hilarious. But anyway, here we go.
Monumentous spiritual abilities and gifts. However, when it comes to connection, love, and relationship, there's something that's missing. This is because those spirits that your ancestors were dealing with, that gave your ancestors certain powers and abilities, whether those powers and abilities were used in order to heal or to help the community, or the opposite. Those powers of those spiritual beings still exist within the family and within you. And the symptoms of those spirits are these abilities that you have. The way that we remedy these issues is that you have to reconnect to the Wu No Nam, or the gods of your ancestors that exist in nature, because it's the reflection of those minds and mentalities that exist in nature, those mental beings, these spiritual beings, our ancestors, the gods of our ancestors that
I cannot stress that enough. Okay. When it comes, I'm sorry for the noise, y'all. That's my central unit, central air unit. I can't stress this enough. For the men, for the women and the men who find themselves in these type of situations, um, relationship wise, right? You'll wind up seeing that you're getting the same energy, just a different shell, right? Peace, bro, God. You'll cycle. You'll just recycle the same fucking energy into your life until you can identify it, right? And in order to break that destructive cycle, um, like he was saying, you'll get these people in your life, these partners. I want to keep this gender neutral. You get these partners in your life, right? They're the same fucking person, just different shells. And it's so draining. It's very draining, especially to people who have these gifts or whatever you want to call them passed down to them, right? So you're repeating these cycles. And what I found for myself was after my first marriage, I had to take a step back, right? And really focus more in on my religion. I told you I'm initiated into Santeria, or what we say is Lukami. All of this is under the Ephi tree. Paul, you are correct. These all have similarities. Correct. They are all different too. But the one thing that remains the same is the energy across the board. You could put many different names to it, whatever you want. However, it's still the same energy. Okay. All of it falls under the Ephi tree, in my opinion. Okay. So I found myself repeating these cycles, right? Also being very much aware of the gifts I was given from my mother's side and my father's side. So what happened was, right? What had happened was I had to take a step back, right? And one thing, when you're on your spiritual journey, I cannot stress enough how much solitude is so important. Um, that is a journey, it is a path that can be lonely, lonely at times, but it is also very necessary because you need to quiet everything down. You need to be free from distraction. Like I said, I don't talk too much about my initiation, but I got more passports stamps in my book than you can believe. Okay, going back and forth, and it took me a little over a year, but again, I still was in that first marriage, right? Losing focus, losing sight, and when it finally played this part, it played out. I remember I just, I release you. I am done. So anyway, took a step back to actually focus on me, myself, my spirituality. And what I'm trying to say is the spiritual walk is a long one. It's a lonely one at times, but it is very necessary, right? So that way you can become calm and peaceful and determined and know who you are, you as a person, right? So I started getting back into to where I know I needed to be, right? Unintentionally, maybe one day I'll speak about that because in order for me to kind of manifest that energy and that partner to me, I had to work on me first, right? That's important. You got to work on you because this shit comes from the inside out, right? Jumping from person to person ain't going to help with your trauma, your pain, none of that shit, okay? You're going to have to work it out. Anyone who is new into the spiritual journey, take your time, walk slow. Know that just like when you're born alone, you die alone. This is going to be your walk alone, your path. Okay, just because my path took me one way or I did it one way, da 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 da. Yeah, you can use it. You can use it as a, you know, You can use it as a guide, sort of, but that doesn't mean necessarily that that's going to be your same exact walk and path, because each of our paths are our own. You know what I'm saying? It's like our fingerprint, our DNA. It's tailored made just for you, which is why I say, like, even people who are Christians and Muslims and things of that nature, that is your path. That is tailored and designed for you to get to where you need to be on this dimension. So, whenever it is your time to transcend, you transcend the way you're supposed to, because guess what? Job well done here on earth, here in this dimension. Good job. And if that was through Christ, that was through Allah, then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You did your job, right? So I'm gonna let him go into this, and I'm gonna finish this up real quick, and I'm gonna tell you how I feel. Okay. Oh, let me read some of the comments here. Boom. Oh, what had happened? What had happened was boom. Hey, no hurt. What's going on? What's going on? So yeah, like I said, I had to take a step back and take some time. I had to take some time for Tiffany. You know, the Philly Bruja is my YouTube persona. Am I Bruja? Yes, definitely. Um, but I'm Tiffany. So Tiffany had to take a step back and work on Tiffany. The walk was long. It was lonely at times, but it was so worth it. It's priceless. Okay. Solitude is very necessary to spiritual growth. If you want to break these cycles that you see keep happening in your families, you know what I'm saying? And you know that you have these gifts, you got to take a step back. And when I say take a step back, man, I'm telling you guys, I totally went off of social media. I mean, all of this shit. And well, social media wasn't that big anyway back then, so that was easy. But even now today, I see people actually putting their initiations on on video. I'm like, what the fuck? That's crazy to me. I watched somebody start the process, initiate all in about 3 to 4 months. That person actually paid to play. And they recorded it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Never seen no shit like that at all in my life. Anyway, let's get into what else he was saying, because I still think the message is just as powerful today. And I'm gonna get into my theory on what happened. Okay.
Exist in nature. It's those beings that are following you, that are giving you those abilities, that are preventing you from coming together and having a relationship. And it's not until you remedy that, or you connect to that part of yourself that exists in nature, that gives you those abilities, that you will be able to experience that peace that you're looking for. This is somewhat a generational and an ancestral curse, if you were to look at it that way, because so many of you have turned away from the way of your ancestors, or have turned away from your own identity. And in forgetting who you are, and forgetting who you are connected to, you have forgot about some of the very essential aspects of your own identity that exists inside of nature. So the way that we remedy these issues, as a bulana, or one who does the sacrifice, or tindanana, or one as a land king, or one who deals with the spiritual medicine, we have to connect you back to nature. And in essence, it's connecting you back to yourself, because it's the aspects or those abilities that you have, which are the signs of those beings that walk with you. So in connecting you back to them, it will connect you strongly to the powers that you have that exist within inside of yourself. And in doing that, you will remedy the particular issue. We'll do a part 2 on this coming up soon.
Okay, so I just wanted to bring that message from him. He was I liked his body of work. I really did. It's unfortunate, but you can even tell in the passion in his voice. He had a message, and he wanted that message to get out there. And for him, it was starting his nonprofit organization, or university of sorts, I guess you can say, of traditional African religions, right? But the thing is, when you initiate, right, and when you are accepted, there are certain things that we are not allowed to talk about, because it is a closed practice. But Chief Amachi was like, fuck that, right? I'm going to take all this knowledge that I have and I'm going to go back over here to America, Atlanta specifically, and I'm going to give out all these this sacred information and blah 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 blah, right? Because again, he was eager to teach others, eager to have them as students. Not everybody can be your godchildren or your students, okay? That's just not how it works. Um, Me personally, I'm very particular, who my godchildren are. Anyway, to him, he's like, I'm coming back. This is business, okay? Business, and I'm gonna get this message out to everyone, right? That's not how this works at all. So this was his last video before he passed away, and he came back to America, excuse me, to Atlanta, right? And this is a healthy, able-bodied man. This is over 3 years ago, so we're not talking about the C word or anything like that. He was a healthy, able-bodied man. Obviously, he did stunts and things of that nature in the movies. Black Panthers specifically, and he passed away. He transcended. They say it's mysterious, and then they said it was malaria. But he would be first of all, before you can even go, you have to get all kind of shots and things of that nature before you even go. He was going there for quite some time, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, so they can miss me with the malaria thing. This was his last video. Hold on.
Ojo, ojo bagle to adelo. Sale wa me bu bu to he. No vi yen we. Mi jo bagle mi ato ade. Sale wa me bu to he. Ojo bagle to ade sale wa me bu to. No vi yen ojo bagle to ade sale wa me bu to. Ojo bagle to ade wa me bu to lo. Ojo bagle to Afomikala, Akamama Mutopu. Mommy and the corner, I'm a story, I'm a dog. Oh, Kaya, the social media, my family, I catch up. Papa is for my match. You get Alicia. Oh, but I got you. Oh, it was.
All right, so y'all get it. I'm not gonna play that whole thing. I don't even feel right playing that whole thing. Anyway, he was given a warning. Okay, this is how I feel. He was given a warning. To keep the sacred information that he learned, the knowledge that was for him, for his lineage to continue. Blah blah blah. I really feel like once he actually stepped off the soil of that continent and came here with the intention of passing that knowledge on to people who have no business with that knowledge, it was a problem. And I feel like, did he? Oh, wow. I didn't know he did that. No, Mommy Wata is not my thing. No, no, no. I told you I'm terrified of mermaids. Okay. Anyway, um, although it is someone who frequents these YouTube streets, I'm gonna wait for her to come to me, because she definitely has the energy of Yamaya. Anyway, um, so he was warned about it. He was warned, saying, "Hey, shut your mouth, shut your mouth," like Laos, shut your mouth. Um, and he's like, "Fuck that," I'm taking this shit right back to the Americas, and you know, not everything is for everybody. You know what I mean? He showed a lot. He showed too much. He was willing to teach too much. And I think it was, what was it, 3 days after he got back here? This is a very able bodied man who has traveled to that continent numerous times, multiple times. He's never gotten malaria before. You get shots not to get that kind of shit. Anyway, um, fast forward, he did pass away. I feel like, um, you know, This was a spiritual kind of death. It- what's the best way I can put this? While it is an oral tradition in religion, and we share things, I'm gonna say for myself, I share things mindfully, right? I'm not trying to get y'all to do anything with deities or anything like that. I don't even really talk about that. I rarely talk about initiation and the initiation process that I went through, and that's for a good reason, because you will be stopped. You will be stopped if it's not high intentional. When you're fucking around like this, right? You're going to be stopped, because this is why it has been able to still be remained considered a closed practice. Okay, he had good intentions, I believe, to spread the word and the knowledge. I guess, but it went too far with the teaching and initiating um, all people across the board, and that's just not how this works at all. So this is why I say this is a cautionary tale when it comes to initiation, right? Knowledge is power. Um, and a lot of times, just like how you got your preachers and pastors and stuff like that, that power gets to their head and it corrupts. You know what I mean? And I think Chief Amachi, he had good intentions, and the power corrupts, knowing, there's certain things. Hey, Nessa, sorry. Um, I think he had super, good intentions, to bring that information and knowledge back, but not everything is for everybody. 3 days later, I think it was, what is with that number three? I think it's 3 days later. This very well uh, man in his prime, healthy, etc. He passed away alone in his apartment or house or whatever, and it was a mystery for quite some time. And then they wanted to come back and say it was malaria. I personally feel like, the spirits that was in charge put a stop to it. Whether or not this particular sect of Mami Wata, because they're controversial in themselves. Okay, I ain't even gonna touch on that too much. Unless it comes up in a story or something, another story. But this particular sect right here, they're a bit controversial. Um, Also, I just want to make you aware that you can go over to Ghana and Benin and places like that. You can pay your way in, which you think is an initiation. It's kind of bullshit, but you know what I'm saying? They'll do it for the money. They'll do it for the money. Um, but it doesn't. You still have to be crowned, so to speak, by these energies, right? And if you're not crowned by these energies, money be damned. Like, you can't pay your way into it, for real, for real. All right. So that is what I think actually caused the passing of Chief Amachi. I think that the particular sect that he was involved with, right? He was accepted. He was given knowledge, secrets, and all that other shit. And I feel like when he was like, fuck all that, I'm taking all this shit right back to America, and I'm going to open me up in school, and I'm going to teach the world. It's very colonizing if you think about it. Anyway, they found him dead. I hope he transcended in peace. I didn't know him personally. Again, like I said, just in passing in YouTube comments and da da da. Um, we didn't have any bad uh communication. It was all very nice, very nice. He seemed to be a very nice person. I used to, like his videos when he did uploads and stuff like that. Anyway, and when he passed away, and then I found out the details about it that was published, I'm like, Larry in my ass, because I know he was hell bent on bringing this knowledge to the masses. It's good in theory, but not spiritually, if that makes sense. Right, right, intentional rain. That's a nice name. Hey Rico, what's good? Do you think that put me him in a place on the other side that isn't of peace, being that he was actually called? I think he, you know what? That's okay. I kind of understand what you're saying. I feel like this is just my personal opinion. I'm basing this off my own knowledge and experiences. I would feel that he is where he needs to be as far as transcending and ending up where he's supposed to be. Um, but they just had to take you out of here. I don't know if I talked about this experience. I had this spiritual experience in 2011, and I was given a warning. From the other side, let's put it that way, right? I was given a warning. Like, you keep it up, we're gonna take you the fuck up out of here. Um, I still think about that. I still take that very serious. Um, do I think he's probably, yeah? Because at this particular point, his job was done. He did what he had to do to find his path and walk that, and obviously he made an impact because it's 3 years later, and I'm finally now talking about it because I didn't really want to talk about it. I just wanted to sit on it and think on it. You know what I mean? This is when initiation goes wrong, right? And your intentions and things of that nature. I think that he had good intentions at first, but he was like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna go ahead and teach the masses. Well, this isn't for the masses. So even though he specifically had the calling, got the crown, got the keys, it's not for everybody. Okay? It's not for everybody. And unfortunately, he was found deceased. He left his earthly body. I'm sure he is, Rico. Not mine, but someone's. um Shit, who knows? Maybe this is even why I'm talking about it now. I just wanted to give like a slight warning, um and a reasoning for why, when it comes to my actual content, it's touchy for me. You know what I mean? I try to be very mindful of what I say. Of course, I stay away from rituals and things of that nature when it comes to deities in the African traditional religion. Now, who do I give y'all some gems and tips and things of that nature? I don't, but unmelanated people beware. That you fuck around, you go ahead, that's on you. Okay. But usually, you know, my melanated folks, I'll give you some hoodoo shit. No problem. Grab your Bible. It works. It works. You grab your Bible. If you want to fuck around with some hoodoo shit, listen. And if any of my non-melanated brothers and sisters come past it, sure, knock yourself out, but do not hold me responsible. But hoodoo is a practice. It's not, a religion. So anyway, in that kind of stuff I'll share, but this kind of shit, not too much. Um, at least with my godchildren in my house, cool, but not with just the masses. You know, I have a great relationship with the Baron Samedi. We cool. We cool. We have an agreement. Anyway, um, anyway, I don't know. Is there any questions, comments? Hey, y'all, please don't forget to hit the like. Please hit the like. Thank you. And while I'm waiting to see if anyone has any questions, please hit the like. Thank you. While I'm waiting, I have a lot of love for the Baron Samedi and Papa. Actually, I haven't. Never mind. Um, let's see. Y'all gonna take me left. I have a very loving relationship with the guardians of the cemeteries and the crossroads. Yeah. I'm just looking to see if anyone has any comments or questions before I go. Hoodoo is my power within. but those deities don't mess with if you research on these energies as beginners. Wait, I'm trying to wait. I'm ready. Yes. Okay, Rain. I understand what you're saying. Yep. See, with hoodoo, you're using what's the best way I can put it? Hoodoo is a practice. This is what a lot of slaves and stuff brought over with them, and we still this is shit that we still do. Get that thing for me, please, y'all. Uh, here's a perfect fucking example. Here we go. So when is New Year's? Friday. Okay. So you know how we gonna have a whole bunch of black folks, right? Probably even some white ones too. That's gonna be cooking the collard greens and the neck bones and the black eyed peas. That is a ritual. It's to bring you prosperity, financial luck, and blah 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 blah, all that for the new fake year to come. And then also you can take it even a little bit further when you got the whole you only let a man come in through the door after 12 a.m. with money in his pocket. Also, you bring it in. Don't bring in the New Year's with the dirty house. You want to clean your wash your walls. All of that shit right there is hoodoo. Does that make sense? That's all hoodoo. That's a ritual. Yep, clean your house. Excuse me. Wiping the walls down, the whole nine. Which I'm going to do that. Okay, it's just this is something that we've been doing since I was a child, and I've noticed across the board, even Christians do it. Okay, um, yeah, y'all cooking those black eyed peas and y'all cooking the greens and all of that shit for financial prosperity and blah blah. Yep, even blowing out the candle, all of that shit. Right. Everybody say, oh, it's a family tradition. No, it's actually hoodoo. Okay. It's an ancestral tradition. But it passed. I mean, it made it. It made it all the way here to 2021. Okay. And a lot of times it made it through oral traditions. It's shit that we do. We don't even realize what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that I remember growing up, is if someone unintentionally sweep your foot with a broom, you spit on the broom because that's like bad juju. If the broom sweep your feet by accident. Do y'all remember that one? Yeah, pouring rum at the all of that shit. That's hoodoo, right? That's all hoodoo. So what I mean. Yes, right. I'm using I got my own little mixture though. I got my own little mixture that I put together, and I'm actually going to get down to that soon, shortly, because I still remember I still got that show coming up, y'all. Okay. Um, it should be fun. Okay. This is not going to be, it's not being done maliciously. This is just for us to come together, have fun, and recap the moments of 2021. And then I'm also going to I'm going to raffle away the white Hennessy. And if I'm feeling generous, I'll do two. But I'm not that generous. So it's going to be one. Definitely one. Yes, Rain. I'm going to start today because I need to clean from top to bottom. Um, Whether or not people believe in it, I'm just used to it now. So, I'm in my fucking 40s. So it's kind of hard for me to it's kind of hard for me just not to do it now. You know what I'm saying? But and it's not much to prepare because that goes along with just my daily shit. Like right now I have my ancestor altar going, other altars. eh, Usually that's 24/7. So I'm just in a habit of I'm doing it. So it's not much that I have to do, but I'm gonna get, things out the way, and I'm gonna put the greens on it and the black eyed peas too. And I make my husband walk out the door and come back in. That's all hoodoo. That's all hoodoo. But I'm not gonna keep you guys any longer. So yeah, I just wanted to bring some of my own content. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You could have been anywhere else, but you are here with me here in the gated community. So with that, Let me see. Oh, I get it, mamas. The ancestors and your spiritual team will be loving that dancing candle flame. Yeah. Listen. Hey, troll bestie. See, this wasn't even a scary one. And you late. Always. She always late, y'all. Um, it's always a dancing candle flame. 24/7 in my home somewhere. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I don't know why this coffee didn't hit like it was supposed to. Got some other things to catch up on. And I just wanted to remind you guys again, join me Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have a fun get together here in the gated community just to recap the 2021 moments, big moments. We got a couple honorable mentions. And yeah, we'll do the raffle and we'll have a good time. I promise. I'm not going to do any, I'm not doing it maliciously. Like I said, I was called a Hyoka from an Indian chief from a very little from a child. So it is a gift for me to teach with humor. Um, and I can bring things to you with humor. So yeah, I think we should have a good time on Thursday night. Come join me. We'll have fun. All right. I'm not gonna leave with my fuckery exit. I'm gonna leave with my real one. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And hit the like, okay? Thank you. Put me in the algorithms. All right. I think I'm gonna do like the $5 raffle too, y'all. Like it'll be like a $5 entry fee for that white bottle. Henny, whoever wins, good luck to you. I hope you enjoy it. It's been aged very well. It's dusty on the outside, but don't worry, the inside is great. On that note, wait, let me see. So I believe so. Rain. What? Who? You know what? Matter of fact, before I go, that damn what's his name, milkman, behind the bar. He said, "Bruja got a whole bunch of kids." No, Bruja don't. Not biological. I have two biological children. I have two adopted children, and I have godchildren. Okay. I'm a mother to many, but biologically, I'm a mother. Shit, I'm going to say it to four because my adopted babies is my babies too, God damn it. But I'm just saying, only two of them came out of me. So take it back. Take it back, milkman. I am a mother to many. That one little person that's not a whole bunch of kids in the background. That'd be one. That's one. That's Chunk. Chunk is a baby, but he's very vocal. Anyway, all right, y'all. On that note, like for real, I'm out. Okay. Boom. You like that? You like that, bro? Boom. So boom.